Hey guys, this is Ice, and I'm going to be casting a Zerg versus Zerg here on, I think this map is Shattered Temple. And so across here, to the left side, we have Tourettes. I'm not familiar with that player, neither am I familiar with this player, Empirehobot. And you can see here the little ad, because this is where I got the replay from. But anyhow, so before the game really starts off, let me just say I just started making YouTube videos, so if you want to subscribe, you can check out the next video I put up, and if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe or whatever. Because I had some like render problems and mic issues in the beginning, just because I wasn't really sure what I was doing. So now I'm starting off. It'd be cool if you could subscribe or whatever. So moving on to the game now, we just saw the extractor trick here. Looks like the extractor trick for both players, which basically increases the food gap, and so you can build another drone. And then the overlords coming out at pretty much exactly the same time. We can see the drone scout here moving out, not tagging the Zelnaga watchtower. Usually if you tag the Zelnaga watchtower on your way out and you see the other scout moving, you can pretty much tell where he's coming from. But anyhow, no early hatcheries or spawning pools for either player. Just coming up here, I'm going to pull up the production tab as well. And the extractor coming up for both players. And here's the spawning pool for red. Extractor coming up a slight bit later. So we'll be seeing which player expands earlier, and you know, a lot of times in Zerg versus Zerg, they don't go for those early expansions just because, unfortunately, a lot of Zerg players cheese on the ladders, and that a lot. So the early hatchery, like 14 hatch stuff like that, doesn't really work against Zerg players. Although I would be expecting to see a hatchery come up pretty soon. Just quickly after the spawning pools finish, I'd say. We can see Empirehobot scout just moving around inside the base, and knowing that there's no early cheese. And we see, there we go, I was waiting for that, the metabolic boost speed upgrade for Zerglings coming up here. So probably going to be seeing some early Zergling action, maybe just for scouting. Meanwhile, a queen on the way for both players. Slightly ahead for the blue. Meanwhile, not much going on. A baneling's nest for blue actually, and these can be surprisingly effective against Zerg if you can get them into the mineral line very early in the game. In fact, if he'd rushed that out as soon as possible, I'm not exactly sure when he started getting that. Could have done some serious damage. And here's the expansion. This is a pretty nice natural expansion here. Blue gonna be scouting that though. Does red have any? There's two Zerglings and a Roach Warren coming up. Just gonna be repelling those two blue Zerglings. However, some more on the way. I don't think blue is really gonna push forward with these. We may be seeing a Baneling bust pretty soon. One Baneling could easily kill all of these if they're clumped up. And here's the speed upgrade just finishing first for this player, although red's gonna have his pretty soon. And you can see all the Zerglings here. I think blue is gonna win this engagement. Red did expand and blue hasn't expanded yet. And this expansion may go down. Not sure if red's gonna cancel that. Maybe he should, although that would be... Oh, here's the four Banelings coming in, and red running away, not deciding to cancel the hatchery. That could be a problem. The Banelings here are not going to attack the hatchery. I don't want to waste them on that. He's trying to clump up red Zerglings, and oh nice, red just splitting off one Zergling there and eliminating a Baneling, so pretty cost effective there for red. One more Baneling gone. I'm not sure how much damage that did, I don't think too much. And here red just trying to repel. Although two more Banelings morphing, a Roach is on the way, two more Roaches coming out for red, and it looks like red is gonna hold this off, just barely. He really doesn't want this hatchery to go down, as he didn't cancel it when he had the opportunity. A couple of Roaches here, so if we can get some saturation going on up here, he'll be ahead I think. And blue still hasn't expanded yet, so I guess he's committing to this early rush. Well, not really a cheese or anything, but the roaches here should be doing a pretty good job. Zergling's gonna run by and try not gonna finish off the hatchery. Not sure how much damage they're actually gonna be able to do. Gonna take off one roach here, may run into the mineral line, although these roaches coming around the back here, and 3 drones on the way for blue, so, and doing some fairly good economic damage here, killing off a bunch of drones. And again, just poking and prodding at the hatchery. Meanwhile, the queen just coming out. I think the hatchery is going to go down. And blue running away from all of the broodlings, so I think red is at a pretty big disadvantage now, just because that hatchery is down, and blue hasn't gotten the hatchery yet, now with a roach warren of his own, and that baneling's nest. The baneling nest not really paying off as much, but the early zergling harass here on the hatchery was pretty good, especially since he got some extra economic damage over here. And another extractor coming up for both players right now. No lair, as far as I can see. Let me just make sure. Lair morphing for that player, sorry. So he is going the tech route, which means he will not have as much units as blue if blue decides to spam. And here blue getting up an expansion of his own, so I think blue is nicely ahead over here. Meanwhile, red, not much going on here. He does have some minerals, creating 3 roaches on the way here, and he needs to make something happen pretty quickly. Maybe if he can counterattack and take down this hatchery, then that would pretty much even out everything. Roach is going to be moving off, however, the zergling's coming in here. That drone probably looking to expand again, however going to be denied. Taking down, oh yeah, taking down that creep tour, which was connecting the 2 bases. Sorry about that. And roach speed on the way. Meanwhile, these 4 zerglings going to be pushed away. Red still looking to expand again. That drone going to be taken out though. And a lair up here. I don't see any lair structures. There are some roaches over here. Not going to be going for the expansion. There are 4 zerglings over here. I don't think they're going to do much. And now you can see the roaches moving in here. Going to be focusing now on the queen, it looks like, pulling drones off the line. So, I guess a pretty okay harass by red, although I think he should really have gone for the hatchery instead of going for economic damage. And you can see more roaches on the way now, so I think red, rather than expanding, although he may expand now, yeah, here's the drone. Just before he expands, trying one more counterattack, maybe? Nope, pulling his forces back. I don't think he should have done that at all. I think he really needs to make something happen before saturation gets set up on the base here. And you can see blue now massing a bunch, well, not massing a lot, but a fair amount of roaches here. We'll see if it's going to be able to hold this off. He's probably going to have to pull drones off the line. More roaches just finishing stream across there while the hatchery is building. And I think the engagement is going to just slightly favor red. Drones are going to have to be pulled off the line. Yeah, there we go. 4 drones on the way for blue. Although I think this is going to be some pretty heavy economic damage going to happen here. And microing the roaches just a little bit. Going to be good. So, seeing now all these drones off the line, moving all these drones as well. I think red is actually turning the game around. So it has been pretty nice play from red ever since that expansion went down. Although blue looks like he's just going to hold this off. Although red did do a bit of economic damage there. Looks like he's going to be saving 1 or 2 roaches. Just saving that one there. So we're going to have to rebuild all of those drones. And if he does rebuild all of the drones, that's a smaller army. And red could push out again. Although red does want to get to some saturation of his own. So we'll see what happens here. 6 roaches on the way for red, so it looks like he is going to be continuing this push. And what is happening here? So blue looks like coming up with a counter attack himself, but I think red is going to be ready in time. A couple of roaches here and 8 more on the way, just finishing up. The queen looks like it's almost going to go down there. And red's roaches you can just see coming over here is going to be repelling this attack. Red may follow him back to his base, although blue is making some more roaches of his own, so it's kind of a roach race now for both players. An overlord here spreading creep. I'm not sure what that is for. However, red sending some roaches up here, and a lot of reinforcements streaming in. And I say a lot because compared to what Empire has there, it's gonna be nope. Thinking he might camp some roaches out here and wait for reinforcements, but he's going to be moving back to the Zelnaga watchtower. Just keeping some vision there, so he should know if he's going to be under attack. Meanwhile, saturation building up there. An overseer coming in here, knowing exactly the tech path that the player went for. Although nothing second tier, I don't think he built anything off of the lair. You can see here red probably looking to attack very rapidly, so 2 more roaches coming in from the back, and this is going to be pretty close. I think it's going to come down all to micro pretty much. Hard to tell who's going to win here. Not really neither player has burrow, so we're not going to see any burrow micro. Neither are we seeing any of the roaches being pulled back, but I think that's because they're so slow, and that's no GG. So blue just left the game, I assume. Pretty good play from red, I would say, since that hatchery went down so early, and he pretty much turned it around. So good play from both players, and that's going to